Hi, this is Tina Stitches. Today is Monday, September 3rd. It is Labor Day, and I decided I was going to do a stitch with me. I'm using a different camera, so all of the stands that I had were not adequate to use with this camera for a stitch with me. So I did come up with something that should work. So we'll see how that goes. Somebody had asked how do I stitch at this frame, the way that I have it set up. So this is exactly how I sit at it. It's on my desk, which is just a standard desk, and I have my scissors here, my highlighters here. This is a tin, which when I put my beloved project away, I put my scissors in here, and there's a lid over there, and phone, my floss, my charts up here, which is the norm, and really I just stitch just like this. Sometimes I will find myself just using the one arm, but really it's not I don't do it as much when the stitching is farther away because of the range of motion involved in that. And then I find I'm, getting kind of a sore neck, sore back from the poor posture. So, now that I've demonstrated that, I am going to turn you off and I'm going to put you over here, and hopefully the focus will be okay. In case you're wondering about my getup, this is actually a stand for a half yard of ale glass. The glass broke, and I just improvised because I did try a stack of books with this open, but I couldn't get it to lean over far enough, so we'll see how this works. And we'll do a stitch with me. Be right back. Okay, we are back. I finished off that strand, and I'm going to load up 2 more needles because on this section I am going by the color completion method, in which you just stitch all of one symbol until that entire symbol has been finished, and then you go on to another symbol. It works really well in this section where it's all background. I haven't really tried it in this section where there's blockier color sections. I don't know. I move around. I just decide to do whatever I feel like doing. So this section, confetti, heavy, color complete. I picked the symbol that is very dominant in this section. And then when that's finished, I will, actually what it was parked threads that I continued, and it happened to be the dominant color. And there's 3 threads parked there right now that are probably, well, they're the diamond symbol, and it's very, very dominant in this area as well. So I'll pick those up and probably work them in when I'm done with this down arrow symbol. I use the loop method. I'm stitching 2 over 1 on 25 count. Just a white even weave. I couldn't tell you the maker, but there's the orange band. I know that means something. That means something to somebody, and I can never remember if it's Lugana or not, or Witchelt or Zweigart, I don't know. So we had a pretty uneventful long weekend. We did decide to clean up our fire pit, which has been overgrown for the last 2 years, and not used, and kind of became a bit of an eyesore. So I took it upon myself to go over there and dig it up a little bit. And Saturday night? Well, Saturday I took the weed eater over there and I cut the grass around it so that we could use the fire pit, because I figured if we get a fire going and it would just burn it out. But we didn't burn it. We don't like big fires, and so we didn't burn it really out. There was still patches of grass around the very edge of it. It's a big fire pit, so it's I'm not surprised that we didn't get all the grass burnt out of it. I will insert a picture here of I don't know if I took a picture of it before I shoveled it all out, but I definitely got one after, so you'll get an after shot anyways. It is a beautiful fire pit for a rustic fire pit. We hadn't been using it very much because there have been fire bans in our area, which is no lighting of any fires of any kinds, because you could start a forest fire very easily. So, but then we had a nice bit of wet weather, and the night we did light it up, it was absolutely still. There was no wind at all. The leaves weren't rustling, but the air was nice and warm, so didn't have to have a fire, but it was nice. Which is another reason why it wasn't huge. We didn't need it that much for warmth. I don't know if you can hear the whirring, but there's laundry going in the basement. Once in a while, the washing machine changes the cycle noise, and it freaks the dogs out, and they get going. So if the dogs freak out, plus my husband's outside pouring cement, so he's got a concrete mixer that's also making noise, and can't let the dogs out because wet cement. So they're cooped up in here. It's a nice day. I was out there cleaning up the fire pit, but they're still stuck in the house. Just had to get my bearings there. I tried to look up a couple of tags to do, but I just couldn't find anything. I just figured I would just wing it. So that's what I'm doing. I tried to get onto the Michelle Benistacci D-Stash, or not D-Stash, the Raise Money for Alzheimer Awareness live sale, but my internet was too slow and it kept lagging, and I'm going to be honest in that I feel like a lot of the charts that were going to be for sale are not things that I would have been interested in. So I don't think that I missed out on my unicorn chart or anything. And having not watched it yet, I won't know. Right now I don't have a unicorn chart. There's a few things that I would like to get. But there's nothing that I'm absolutely gaga over that I want and can't find. Like the Ori TM Alice chart that I was gifted. That was my unicorn. And I have enough to stitch on right now, and if you've seen my craft room, which I should probably do a tour of, and I had thought about it, but I can't do that with a webcam. Not easily. So that'll have to wait. But yeah, I have a lot of charts that I could pick from, and I keep ordering more. But I know I'm not the only one guilty of that. I hope I'm not shaking you when I come over here, because the cable runs right over my stitching spot. Yeah, I placed another order. It should be in pretty soon, and most of the reason why I did that is I actually placed 2 orders, and The one, because I was comparing the prices of the water lilies between the two stores, the online stores, because I'm not, no L&S here, nowhere near me, so I shop online. I have two stores that I favor, and that's Traditional Stitches out of Calgary and 123 Stitch out of the States. I think they're in Utah. Not 100%. Anyways, very good service. Both of them are very good. The only problem that I find is with Traditional Stitches is a lot of the threads that I want are on back order. So it's a bit of an inconvenience. So anyways, I was comparing the prices of water lilies, and I decided to go with 123 for it. I don't think it worked out any cheaper. And then I was working on Alice, and because of the conversion that I made with using all over dyes, I realize I am not going to have enough of at least 3 of the colors. So I went to Traditional Stitches after a couple days after I'd already placed my 123 order, and ordered from them, and I decided to check out what fabric's on sale, so I ordered a piece of fabric, and wouldn't you know it, all the thread I want, that's all on back order. So I think Alice is going to be put on the back burner for a little bit, because I don't like sitting there and go to do a part of it and I don't have that thread. The Turkish red is used a lot in that pattern. I mean, that symbol is used a lot that I had converted to Turkish red, and I ran out. So that put a damper on things. So I ordered 2 of those, and both of those are on back order, along with chives, mustard seed, and I want to say moss, but they'll eventually get to me. In the meantime, I did start another project, and I am trying to figure out how to create a Q-snap clamp for this style of stand. The floor stand that I have basically has an arm with, you know, this. So I don't have a Lowry yet. Eventually. But to be honest, I did not get into Q-snaps until recently. I was always a scroll frame girl, and then I was watching FlossTube, and it was like, okay, you know, so many people like Q-snaps. Maybe I just had a bad experience with my first set, which, looking back, is probably what happened. I believe I got like a 6x6 set, So it was just a tiny set, and I found it awkward to hold and awkward to stitch around the snap, the bars. So I ended up giving it away and telling everybody that I know that Q-snaps suck. Well, it turns out Q-snaps do not suck. I was wrong. And I have bought more and more and more Q-snaps. And I posted a picture earlier on my Instagram account, I think it was yesterday, about my stitchy spot in the living room where I've got 2 Q-snaps resting on the one side, and then on the side table beside my chair there's another Q-snap in that basket, and then I have my scroll frame on a floor stand in front of those. Sorry, I thought I saw a flicker on the screen. Oh, where am I? So I don't even know if this thing is focusing because the screen is way over there. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm sure that you can because it's right there. But I know that there have been issues with my sound before. So we'll see. So yeah, I started another project on the 1st of September. I believe is the start date for the Australian ladies stitch along for the Spring Queen Mirabilia, and Jessie Marie made me start another project because she's Jessie Marie and she tells me what to do. Actually, no, it was just a really good idea, and I really needed a reason to start this project. And there it was. Dressmaker's Daughter by Mirabilia has all 4 seasons on it in 4 different beautiful dress designs, basically is what it is. And there's a portrait, and it's, the Dressmaker's Daughter is the dress form. And so it's the dress form with all these different dresses on it. And so I am doing spring, and I put in a few stitches over the weekend. So my plan is to stitch on that for at least once a month on the 1st. I do have these other, whips that I want to get out of the way. I'm thinking I should get out another reindeer and get it finished before Christmas because I should. So the Dressmaker's Daughter, if you've seen my floss tube, I know I've shown the pattern and talked about it, and it has a lot of Karen water lilies and beads, and so that is what I ordered from 123. Not all the beads, only the beads necessary for spring. altogether the total was about $100. So, I've got to put a limit somewhere. And I haven't earned myself that much money with my cash for stash, which I have still been doing. I know I haven't talked about it, but I am still keeping track of it. And as you can see, I am now wearing a wrist monitor. It's not a Fitbit, it's a wannabe. And I don't know how accurate it is, but I thought I'd give it a try. One of the reasons is because my doctor told me, because we were talking about restless leg syndrome, she told me to see if I could borrow one and wear it at night to see, because it can help determine if I do indeed have restless legs. So I went online and I just bought one instead of borrowing one, because I don't know of anybody who would lend one out. It's one of those things that's like, but I wear it all the time. So, yeah. So I thought, well, I will use it to keep track of hiking and other things if we do them. And we have done a little bit. About a week ago, we took the dogs out to a local trail here called Cedar Bay, and it was pretty much deserted except for one lady who was walking two dogs, and one of the dogs had an orange ribbon, and it was just a tense moment. Did not want to have to go around that dog, but she's like, oh, it's okay. For those of you who don't know, an orange ribbon tied on a leash of a dog when they're walking means do not approach. The dog is being rehabilitated. So I was aware of what the ribbon meant, but I don't think the woman walking the dog was aware. Yeah. So then we just took the long way around because we didn't want to turn around. We were at the point where we turn around usually when we go for a walk, and we didn't want to meet them again, so we decided to continue on and take the long way back, which meant going up a decent hill. So got some exercise, and so I had ran my app with my phone on a separate app that I was using before to track my distance, etc. And I used my watch, and they both came up with different distance and steps. So I don't know which one to believe. But, that's what happens when you buy a $40 Fitbit, right? Keeps time, tells me when an Instagram like comes through, whatever. Whenever I get a text, it buzzes. So, I mean, it has other purposes. But I will keep trying it. Like earlier today when I was cleaning out the fire pit, I set it to, well, let's see what my heart rate is. I don't have a heart rate. So going for a walk or a hike, I set it on to workout because doing yard work. So it kept track of how long I did that and how many, calories I should have burned in that period, etc. So 67 minutes is what it took me to completely clear out that fire pit, right down to the bare concrete on the bottom. Apparently my heart rate got up as well. All good stuff. I keep telling my husband I'm going to get him one because he does a lot of menial chores around the house. And he goes through about 3 or 4 shirts a day because of it. So I told him I'm going to get him a Fitbit. See, keep track of it. Well, that was both of those strands. And that's about 30 minutes. So that was a pretty good chunk, I think. I am going to turn this off now, and I'm actually going to go and work on Dressmaker's Daughter and try to get a good chunk of that done before I put it aside to work on my dad's stocking. Because it's that turn in the rotation now, so I will turn this off and try to get it edited and uploaded, and hopefully that'll be done within the next couple hours. And until next time, keep on stitching. I hope you're all doing well. Bye.